So in this one, I'm going to lay my own hedge that I planted 9 years ago. Okay, so we planted this 42-metre stretcher hedge about 9 years ago after our second child was born. And to give us privacy really, there's a footpath that runs along there. It's not heavily used, but no one puts the dog on the lead, even if you tell them, and it kind of creates conflict, which I'd like to avoid. So it's easier just to fence it off. Nice wide track anyway, it's 12 foot wide, so we can get tractors and stuff up there if we want to. But we planted mainly hawthorn, and it's come time now to lay it. It's pretty flat. I think I could lay this easily either way, but I'm going to go that way into an old hedge there. It is made a little bit harder because it's fenced both sides. It's quite hard to get into, which I think is going to cause me a few issues, especially getting the first bit started. I need to clear myself a bit of space to start working. There are some standard apple trees that I planted on M25 rootstock dotted through this as well, so I'm going to try and leave them standing. If I cut one of them down by mistake, then I do. I grafted them myself. They're all cider apple trees, I think. I think there's the Argyle Greaves, there's one there, it's very upright, and there's a few more further on down. So yeah, I'm going to start folding those over. I've got some very wonky stakes that I'm going to knock in that I've made myself on the small holding. I tried not to buy anything in to do this job, so it's just my time really going into it. I'm not a professional hedge layer. This is a learning experience and I'm really looking forward to it. My grandfather was a champion hedge layer and he was a national judge as well, so it's nice to kind of keep the skills going. Hopefully I'll learn a bit from doing this one. It should be quite an easy hedge to lay. Famous last words, but it's all quite young growth. I'm going to need to side it up a little bit. I'm going to use the chainsaw and a hedge trimmer and kind of take the sides off. But I'm going to do that as I go, kind of pull it over and see how I get on really. So I'm going to knock some posts in and then we'll go from there. So hedge and stakes want to be a kind of forearm width apart, so about 2 per metre. The hedge is quite thin here, it's overshadowed by these evergreens. So I'm going to now pleach these over. So I'm going to just cut through so far, try not to go into the cambium layer on the other side, enough to bend them over and keep them alive, and then I'll shoot back from there and I'll shoot back all along its length. And I'm going to weave them in and out of these stakes here. That's the plan anyway. This next one, I'm going to get some loppers, make him a bit more straight so he can come out, and get my little saw so I can prune off the little pegs that kind of stand up right afterwards, and I can tidy them as I go. I'll be able to lay 3 more and then I can think about putting some more posts in. I mean, when I sowed this, I put these in, I planted about 5 or 6 per metre, but not all of those are taken. It is really overshadowed. It's a really damp spot, but I'm glad, like, you know, I'm pleased with what I managed to get. There it's definitely thinner, but as it goes on further on up, the trees get a lot thicker and reaching for the light a lot more. So I go get loppers, saw, crack on. Between 2 fences does not make this job easy. So I managed to get that split quite close to the ground. Bent over nice, plenty of meat left there. Probably about 40% of it left. I can find my saw inside of me. Oh god. And then ooh. Apparently it's bad practice to leave those bits lying about. Does anyone else get this? I tried to be really good with my fence posts and the squirrels eat it all. Furry little blighters. There's lots of fancy ways to flat binders and they look great, but I'm just going to do alternates as they kind of fight against each other. You see my standard apple tree, so I'm going to stop the binders either side of those. I'm not really sure what else to do. I asked the mate and that's what he said to do, so that's what I'm going to do. Right, so yesterday I managed to get about 10 metres done, so I'm quite pleased with that. Slow start to getting into it. I think starting off on a job like this is always the hardest bit. Got these standard trees, so I'm stopping the binders either side. I've got one over there that's bending over, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do to get that. I'm going to try and prop it up some way maybe. So I'm just going to carry on now, keep going. It does feel like you're fighting a battle with this hedge, like it's pushing back, you're pulling it. It's physical work. I was really hungry last night, it must be said. I'm always really hungry, but I was extra hungry last night. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this, keep folding it over, keep knocking some posts in, keep trying to weave it between, and try not to break any. There's a few of them I'm worried it might have gone a bit too low, or maybe not left enough, but I think it's looking alright. It's all bending over good, mainly just using the axe. It is hard with that fence, and on my chainsaw trousers, which are good for the fawns, there's like a little clip here, because they're like chaps. And it keeps clicking onto the fence if I'm not careful, so if you might see me on some of the videos trying to unclick myself, which is a little bit annoying. But I wonder if I turn that round actually. Yeah, other than that, it's all good fun. Let's have a go. You helping?
What do you mean?
Are you gonna help me? You gonna use the chainsaw? This one's not getting bleached. Grown through the fence. I think it's one of the only ones looking down there. Getting there. I'm not gonna lie, that was hard graft. Got them all pleached over now. So now I need to tidy up the top and kind of trim them up a bit and then weave in some binders. Also not sure what to do with this apple tree. I think I'm just gonna cut it off. Let's have a look actually. Okay, so this apple tree is a Tom-Putt and I put it in here on an M25 rootstock and it's grown about 4 times the rate of all the others, which are on the same rootstocks. It's obviously fighting for the light a bit more. It's got these lime trees behind, but it's grown, you know, it's a real thick, chunky tube. It's grown into the fence, unfortunately. I think that rather than trying to save what's on top now, I've cut quite a bit of it off already. I think I'm going to cut it off down there, above the graft though, so you've still got the cyanwood on top, and then let it shoot, and then just try and control one of the shoots as a new kind of leader upwards. It will probably put on loads of growth. It's got lots of roots, obviously. We'll just have to see how it does and keep my eye on it, really. It's not the end of the world. It's an apple tree in a hedge, really, but would have been nice to have it straight up like the others. The others look pretty cool. Never mind. I always graft my trees pretty low down, so I'm hoping that isn't the graft on there. I don't think it is. I think it's just where it's been rubbing against the fence. Bit of firewood. Okay, I'm really pleased with this hedge, how it's turned out. It's kind of laid a little bit like a dream. I mean, it's hard work. My arms are all scratched to pieces, and you go to bed very tired. But they've all kind of pleached over easily. I've not broken a single pleacher as I've gone over. They're all roughly the same size, so it's been quite easy in that respect. There's been a few that have had to take the chainsaw too. Most of them I've used just the axe to actually pleach them over. It's produced a relative amount of brash, not huge amounts. The binders I could probably do with a few more across the top, but it's really funny working alongside the footpath. You're going to get loads of comments, and it's not even that busy a footpath, but everyone mentions Clarkson Farm. Have you watched Clarkson Farm? To me, and then also everyone compliments it as well, which is really nice. I don't know if they know anything about hedge laying. I think it's kind of a mediocre job, but everyone's telling me how lovely it looks, which is really good, and how nice it'll look when it comes back in the spring, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with this, and I'm hoping it will come back lovely in the spring, and I'll keep you posted on how it does. So this is the first one I've done on my own. I've done little bits and pieces with other people before now, but yeah, to do on my own felt pretty good, and yeah, I'm chuffed with it. So see you next time.